So you manage two funds in Mauritius, and then there's an African Market Leaders Fund. Let's talk about that expansion into Africa through this fund.
Yes, because that's very interesting for us. It's a real challenge. So we started in Mauritius in 1992. We set up in 1992 IPRO Growth Fund, which is a fund which is listed on the Mauritius Stock Exchange, an open-ended fund. And we also manage Policy Limited, which is listed on the Mauritius Stock Exchange as a closed-end fund. And since 2008, we launched the African Markets Leader Fund, which invests into companies listed on the African Stock Exchange across Sub-Saharan Africa, excluding South Africa. So that's a real challenge for us. The fund size today is $10 million, and our objective is to grow the fund to more than $50 million in the coming months.
What's the biggest challenge? Because people would say, you know, investors want liquid markets, and that's the big issue in Africa, not very liquid markets.
Yeah, but since inception, we've been used to invest into illiquid markets anyway, in Mauritius, Botswana for the last 5 years. And now we are gradually investing into countries where there is more liquidity, like Nigeria, Kenya, and also stocks like Sonatel in Ivory Coast and Senegal, in Ghana, Tullow Oil, for instance, which is listed on the London Stock Exchange. So through the diversification of the fund, for the various countries where we invest, we believe that we are really able to have a very good liquidity for the fund, for the investors, because we invest into reasonably liquid stocks.
This year's been a fairly volatile year in general, but year-to-date Nigeria has declined 18%, worst figures for Kenya. So you are in these markets, this is where you see the opportunity, but not in 2011. We
are very happy to invest now in Nigeria and in Kenya. We are very positive for the long-term prospects about Nigeria. It's a place where the growth will be tremendous during the next 5 to 10 years. We invest into the banks, GTB, First Bank. We invest into the cement industry through Dangote. We are very pleased with these investments, especially now. We buy on the dips. So we believe that's the right time to invest now in Nigeria. Same with Kenya. We are positive with the long-term prospects about Kenya, and it's really the right time to put money into these markets now.
Obviously, Sid, excluding South Africa. So when we look at the MSCI Frontier Markets Index, that's gained 5.4%. The Emerging Markets Index has gained 8.7%. What have been the factors that have driven growth in companies in emerging markets and frontier markets? Because this year we've seen, again, volatility, currencies being weakened, inflation rising, so the costs of doing business have grown.
Definitely, but again, the growth rate across Africa will now be the highest growth rate in the world. So we want to benefit from that growth. And at the same time, we primarily invest into companies which pay high dividends. And our research has shown that companies which pay high dividends tend to outperform the other stocks and the market in general. So we have that strategy to invest into high dividend yield stocks, plus a few sectors like consumer staples, for instance, where we are very, very positive, banking and finance, where the current prices are very attractive, and also infrastructure, because Africa in general needs a lot of investment into infrastructure.
Let's talk about the companies that you've invested in. You've spoken to us about a few of them, Sonatel, Dangote Cement. You've also, like you say, consumer stocks, gone into Nigeria and breweries. So you're quite active in West Africa. You've also said the banks. The banks is where we've seen huge swings, especially in Nigeria, because of the reforms, because of the mergers and acquisitions. So how have you pared your losses in countries like Nigeria?
In fact, a stock like Guaranteed Trust Bank, for instance, has a return on equity of 23%. We are very happy to buy this stock now at the current prices. Price earning ratios are probably a once in a lifetime opportunity now. Same for First Bank. So no, we are buying on the dips. We are cost averaging our investments, so that's the right time to put money into Africa now.
People are saying we should be going off the beaten track. We should be going for the stocks that are less obvious, some agricultural stocks, move a little bit away from mining. So your strategy in other markets, you say in Botswana, Lesego maybe is a company you're going into. In East Africa, what's the strategy?
Yes. For instance, a company like Zambeef in Zambia, we are very positive about that company. They should deliver results of $43 million this year, maybe $100 million next year. That's a company which is ideal given our strategy. It plays the consumer story in Africa and the agricultural sector. That's excellent for us as a market leader in Africa.
Okay, the profile of your investors, I mean, you are domiciled in Mauritius, but who are the people participating?
We have two share classes, one for private clients, which is open with a minimum amount of $5,000, and one for institutional investors. The profile of our investors are from Asia, institutional investors, from Europe and the US, institutional investors as well, and some private clients across the region.
Okay, we've also heard that you're spreading your wings as far east as India. When you look at Asia, when you look at Africa, how do the two regions compare? We call them emerging markets, but definitely not growing at the same pace, definitely not offering the same rates of return.
Definitely. There is a lot of volatility in the Indian market, especially this year, where the market is down by approximately 30%. But we work in India with a very strong partner on the ground, which is Religare Asset Management, which manages $15 billion of investments. And with that partner, we are very happy to have that on the ground research, and we are able to select stocks and propose funds to our investors which are delivering excellent results compared to their benchmarks.
Okay, and finally and very briefly, are we going to see you in more interesting destinations? People are looking to get into Ghana, for instance, a bit nervous. Even others that we may not even talk about, so outside of the BRVM zone, for instance.
Yes. Ghana is a very, very interesting country. We are looking at that country very closely. We also look at Tanzania now and the eastern side of Africa, the eastern corridor. We believe that there is a lot of trade happening there, a lot of investment into infrastructure. So we are definitely looking at more illiquid markets now as a diversification for the fund, and that's probably the right time to do it.